Hey guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, head over to You Now and we do a little live. Decided to come on for, just a little bit tonight, chat with you guys, see what's going on. I'll wait for some more people to get notifications and join us so I'm not speaking to myself. If you're watching this and it's already passed, ooh, we got a ghost in here. And Indy's in here too. Hey Robin, how's it going? So it's midnight, November. Just kidding, September 12th. Wow. I'm doing good. I'm just working on the house and decided to take a break and come on here and chat with some of you guys for a little bit and tell you guys a story. We'll wait for some more people to join us. See Indy? There's Indy. Taking a little nap. So you're over on the West Coast, right? Is that correct? Maybe I'll do a little Insta story telling people we're online. Here we go. Seattle. I gotta get back there. Hey guys, live on You Now. Go check it out. Ask some questions. Join us for a live chat. It's younow.com/vegan zombie. There we go. Okay, we got some more people on. I didn't see it yet. I saw the original, and I do want to go see the remake. See how I hear a lot of good things about it, and I'm excited to check it out. I didn't really care too much for the original, but maybe I'll like the remake. Yeah. So I know it's pretty late. It's midnight on a Monday, so probably not many people are going to be joining. So how's everyone doing? Where's everyone from? Where's everybody watching from? If you're just joining, I'm in Syracuse, New York. Hello from Texas. How's it going, Black Mist Angel? So I just thought I would come on. I'm a little bit late. I just wanted to come on and tell my story of 9/11. If you guys are interested in hearing it. It's been 16 years, and everybody that is of age probably remembers exactly where they were on 9/11, 2001. And the light keeps going on and off in here. I gotta fix that. So on 9/11, I was in New York City. I was visiting my girlfriend at the time, and I didn't really know New York City that well at all. And we were in Brooklyn, and I had a bus ticket home on that day, and I still have that ticket. So I had to go from Brooklyn into the city and get my bus early in the morning. I had an early morning bus home. And this is before it was before anything happened at this point. I was on the subway, and I guess somebody heard news of like the first plane hitting, and I overheard people talking about a plane crash. And at the time, when I heard them on the subway talking about that, I immediately thought it was the R&B singer Aaliyah that they were talking about, because she died in a plane crash shortly before that. So I thought that's what they were talking about. And my girlfriend at the time, she went to NYU, and I had to go up to Port Authority. So I just knew what stop I had to get off. I didn't know New York City at all. I was a complete stranger to it. And so I got off at my stop, and I'd already said goodbye to her. And when I got off the subway and was heading to Port Authority, I remember hearing some guy was trying to tell a police officer on the corner that a plane hit a building, and to me it didn't sound like the police officer believed him. He just kind of like, okay, whatever. And then when I got into the building in Port Authority, I saw big, the TVs up above, and it showed that the Twin Towers, one of them was hit, and the smoke coming in. I knew exactly, where that was. It was not too far from where I was, and a bunch of people were watching it. And I was like, oh wow, what's going on? It must have been a big accident. So, I checked it out for a second, and then I went down the stairs to check in so I didn't miss my bus. And they told me to go over and wait, that the all buses out of the city were going to be delayed an hour. So I kind of sat against the wall, and I was like, all right, what do I do? Remember, this is before smartphones, and I had a very primitive cell phone that barely got reception. And at that point, I waited a little bit, and then there was another announcement that came on, and it said, okay, now all buses in or out of the city will be delayed at least 24 hours. So now I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do. I don't know what's going on or why this is happening. So I didn't need to be there anymore. So I started walking. I didn't know where to go or where I was. So I started walking up the stairs, and I remember hearing a lady behind me saying that the Pentagon had been hit. And at that point, I kind of realized what was going on. And I also realized I was probably in one of the worst places I could be. So as I walked out the doors into the street, I was trying to I opened my phone, and I was trying to call, I forget if I was trying to call my parents or my girlfriend at the time, and there was no reception. And I was looking down at it, and it wasn't working. My phone wasn't working. It was just going to like a dead signal, like a bit, like it wasn't going through. And as that was happening, I kind of looked up, and a lot of people around me were doing the same thing. Everybody was kind of looking at their cell phones and not working, and some people were crying, and some people were just frantic, running around, and it was very surreal. And I had no idea, what to do. I couldn't call anybody. I didn't know where I was. I didn't really know what I was going to do. So I just kind of like walked around a little bit outside of Port Authority, and shortly after, the security there evacuated everybody from the building, and so we were all hanging out outside. And shortly after that, they told us to all go across the street. And somebody said something, what was going on, that, both the towers had been hit, the Pentagon had been hit. And at that point, my instinct, I wanted to go down there and see what was going on, and photograph it, take pictures, whatever. But, I'd have to buy a disposable camera at that time. I didn't have my camcorder with me, and there was no smartphones. But I stayed in place, and I remember talking to a lady from England, and she, like, nobody could get their phones working, but she actually did get through to somebody, and she let me borrow her phone. And when I tried it wouldn't go through. So absolutely no calls were being made, because everybody was on the phone at that point. And I heard some other things, going on, just over the radios of the security and stuff, things that, nobody's ever, spoken of. Like, somebody said that there was also explosives in Port Authority and also in the Empire State Building. I heard those go over, and I don't know if that was just like panic or what, but, I never heard anything of that after that. But, live being there, that's what I heard going over the radios. I waited there for forever, and the first building fell, and nobody, this was just so surreal. At that point, I started walking. I didn't know where I was going, but I just started walking downtown, down like Broadway through Times Square. People were just, it was really, again, surreal that people, just strangers, everybody were, bonding together at this point. And I've never seen like parts of New York City so desolate and cleared out, you know. And I walked. I found a payphone, and I tried the payphone, and that didn't work either. So I kept walking, not knowing where I was or where to go. I just wandered through Midtown and downtown Manhattan, and they were evacuating the city. Um, I didn't know where, you know, we have it so easy nowadays with, like, you know, our smartphones and Google and all that, maps, GPSs. It just didn't exist back then, and I had no idea like where. I knew at the time that, you know, my girlfriend at the time went to NYU, and I just didn't know where that was. I didn't know how to get there, so I just kind of wandered for 8 hours. I just wandered, and I could see the smoke and panic people. And I remember, and it's still to this day burned into my image in my head. There was people filming and stuff. They must have been college students, and they knew that this was big, and they were filming and stuff. But emergency vehicles going, you know, by me all directions and stuff like that. And I remember a fire truck going by me, and the firefighters inside. I remember one of them with his arm out the window like this, and he just like, we made eye contact as he drove by, and I remember seeing them as they went by, knowing now what their fate was, and you know, so authorities were like directing people out of the city, telling people where to, you know, go over here, go over this way, and even parts of like near Times Square were just completely like dead. Nobody was there, and so it seemed like forever. I walked, and then finally, after about, like I said, 8 hours, my phone worked, and I got a hold of my girlfriend at the time, and I didn't know where I was, and she's trying to find out where I am to see if she could help give me directions to where she was at NYU. And I remember just being so exhausted, and I had like a heavy backpack on, and it just an ambulance went by me, and then shortly after I heard it in her phone, and I asked her, I'm like, where's the ambulance coming from? Where do you see it? And so she told me, so I went the direction that the ambulance was, and luckily I was there, I was right by her, and I found where she was, and then we walked on back to Brooklyn, and for the next 2 weeks, I stayed in the city. There was no transportation in and around at that point, and I remember just right outside our window, we could see what was left of the building smoking, and we did go back over. So this is, if you don't want to listen to this part, this is kind of gross, but I won't be really detailed. But so we did go over like 2 or 3 days later, and we went down by as close as we could get, and they had like big, like tractor trailer morgue trucks that they were cleaning up with. And I just remember it was just a really surreal time, because in all, like what happened there, the really crazy thing was that just strangers, everybody just bonded together, and everybody became like neighbors and friends, and you felt comfortable talking to anybody, and that was pretty weird and good. Anyway, so that was 16 years ago, and I just wanted to tell my story about 9/11, where I was. So, didn't mean to ruin anybody's night. I still have, and I still have my ticket stub for September 11th, Port Authority. I think the bus was supposed to leave at 9 or 10 in the morning. I think I was like 24 or 25 at the time. And I went to school, so that's the other thing. I went to school at John Jay in New York City, and one of the classes, if I had taken it a semester earlier, the classes were on like the 100 and whatever floor of one of the trade center, one of the trade towers. And I ended up going to school there a semester later. I was supposed to go. I was actually down there looking for different colleges, and it all got postponed, and an extra semester after that all happened. Hey, Hummusero. Yeah, vegan dumpling. I know the friendliness does it wore off, and it seems like everybody's more in like the self-centered kind of like phase of the generations, like me kind of era. Um, yeah, at the time, and people weren't really known to be, overly friendly down in New York. People are, it's a fast place, it's a fast-paced place, and people have stuff to do, and so it was definitely noticeable when that happened. I ended up moving down there shortly after and going to school there for 2.5 years. I got my degree down there at John Jay. But yeah, it was crazy. Hello from New Zealand. That's a place I want to visit someday. How's it going, Holly? My degree is in criminal justice. So for those of you that don't know, that haven't heard my story yet, I wanted to be a special agent in the FBI. I wanted to solve violent crimes and catch serial killers and that kind of thing. So that's what I went to school for, and that's what I'm not doing right now. But Clarice, precisely. So yeah, so that's what I wanted to uh, talk about tonight. If you guys have any questions while I'm on live Q&A, if you guys have any, if you just want to chat about something, I do. I try to bring the zombies to justice. You know what? I just took a break tonight and watched the first episode of The Walking Dead again. The Walking Dead used to be so good. The first two seasons, it just reignites my love of making like zombie themed videos, that kind of thing, which is something that I want to bring back, by the way, in my YouTube videos. I'm a great host for the vegan zombie. Thank you. I'm glad some people think not, some people think so, but I'm all we got for the channel, so I do my best. My favorite vegan food of all time. I love pizza, and I also love chocolate and everything in between. But it'd probably be pizza. I could probably eat pizza every day, although I don't. Adrian, I have not seen the new remake of it yet, but I plan on seeing it soon. I never liked clowns either. Um, I actually got to meet, and I'm friends with Oliver Robbins. He's the one that ruined it for clowns for everybody. He's the guy that played the little boy in Poltergeist, the original Poltergeist. And I got to speak with him and do a little video with him, and he actually he actually made some recipes out of my cookbook. So I was pretty stoked about that. Falafel is good, but it's sometimes if I eat falafel too much, which I used to when I first went vegan, sometimes I get sick of it. You know, way back in the day, I used to work. I worked at so many different food places, and I worked at a lot of pizza places. And I used to run like a New York pizzeria, and I remember I would grab because I was very like I would make my own food there. I would make sure it was vegan, and I would not like get cross contamination or anything. And I had these like okay, so it was one of those conveyor belts that went by. Thank you, Robin, for the tip. I appreciate it. So one of those conveyor ovens, and I would take like those little tin foil things that you put like salad, antipasta to go, and I would fill it with like brand new clean oil, which they would use for like chicken wings. Gross. But I would use one of those. I would fill it up with clean oil, and I would pass it through the oven a couple of times till it got really hot. And then I would make falafel because when you're eating pizza every day. I know I said I would eat pizza every day, but we didn't have vegan cheese or anything back then. This is back in the mid '90s. I would make my falafel there. So I would deep fry the falafel and put it through, and they would come out so good at a pizza place. Avocados, you get really good avocados out there in California. I had a good one yesterday, but I bought a few of them at the farmer's market, and every one of them, they weren't even ripe yet. Yet they were all black and disgusting. I was so mad because I thought I got this awesome deal, 50 cents each. But you guys get the best avocados. You guys got a lot of really good produce too out there in California. Yeah, Bob's Red Mill makes it's like a newer egg replacement for baking. I went to a really now I can't remember the name of it, but I went to a really good falafel place in Venice last time I was in California. And what was it called? Falabar, and they had like falafel burgers and stuff like that. Pretty good. Hummus hero, so do I. So okay, so Hummus Hero always has food phobia about cross contamination, and I have the same thing. Like my eyes are on the food like an eagle if it's in somewhere in front of us or whatever. So I really prefer if I am going to go eat out to eat at an all vegan restaurant because and even then I mean there's no cross contamination of not something not vegan, but I'm always like skeeved out about somebody maybe using a dirty knife or, just anything like that. So, because I've worked in so many food places. So I would much prefer to make my own food. And, but second, I would, prefer to go to an all vegan restaurant. But if there's no all vegan restaurant, I'd like to go to a place that I can see them making my food like Chipotle or Subway or something like that. And very last is a place that is just has vegan friendly options because well, for instance, here at in Syracuse at the New York State Fair. So I was there because I worked at Strong Hearts for a day. So Strong Hearts went to the fair and represented veganism and sold their food there. But there was another place in another part that's not vegan, but they had vegan sausages and vegan hot dogs on their menu, but they made them on the same skillet as all the non-vegan stuff, like right in the same grease and everything. And as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I'm not gonna judge anybody if it is better than eating an animal product. But for me, I don't consider it vegan, and that's just in my own mind. I mean, it's like you're getting grease from like a non-vegan product on your vegan product. Um, so yeah, that's disgusting. To me, it's disgusting. I know some people would eat it and say, yeah, they're still supporting veganism, and I agree there. It's just they don't really care about those. I guess they don't care about the gross factor. See, for me, that'd be like eating something that's not edible. I'm just really, I guess, hardcore about that. Hello from an Australian vegan. Hi, Melissa from Australia. Let's see. We have Black Mist Angel. Congrats on going vegan just a couple of weeks ago. You guys can tell my light's going on and off over here. Let me catch up on some of these questions. Yeah, we only have one vegan restaurant where I live. A lot of vegan friendly places, but there's only Strong Hearts Cafe in Syracuse. Oh, they have two locations. They have Strong Hearts on the Hill, which is a little bit different, and Strong Hearts Cafe. Hey, that chocolate you unboxed. Nod 8. Thank you so much for the tip. I appreciate it. Hit up the Butcher's Son on Saturday. It was so good. Yeah, I saw that you commented that the chocolate is sold at Follow Your Heart. I did a video at Follow Your Heart. I don't remember if I saw that chocolate there, or if I featured it in the video, but yeah, Follow Your Heart is a pretty cool little shop. Follow Your Heart that makes the cheese and everything also has, for people that don't know, they're in California and they also have like a little shop, like a little store. It's pretty cool. Adrienne says, I rarely eat out. There's no all vegan. I missed it. Restaurant where I live. To be honest, in all my videos, it looks like I'm eating out a lot. That's when I travel. Like I try to find all the vegan places, but like you, I rarely eat out either. I just, well, one, it's expensive, and two, there's not a lot of places where I live. So when I go out, I'll eat out different places, but I haven't gone out in a while. Right, I always think that too. How many, Beth says, how many food workers actually wash their hands after using the bathroom? Yep. I mean, that just comes with the territory when somebody else makes your food. You know, it was when I worked in the fast food industry many years ago when I started washing my hands like obsessive compulsively. And I remember I would make something that, like, I'd get an order, it would come up, and as soon as I was done making it, I'd go wash my hands. And orders would just keep popping up, and I'd make it and I'd wash my hands. And I probably washed my hands over 100 times in a day working in that industry, just because I couldn't stand any of the grease or anything like that. Do I have any tips on being SX? Is that, are you saying straight edge, Robin? Or what? SX? I'm not sure. Susan had to tell her roommate to stop putting things in the toaster oven because they put meat and cheese. See, I'm the same exact way. I used to rent my house out while I lived here, and one of the girls that lived here was not a vegan, and I said right at the beginning, I said, look, you're welcome to use any of my dishes, pots, pans, silverware, any of that, as long as you're making something that's vegan. If you're going to make something that's not vegan, which I didn't want in my house anyway, you got to use your own stuff. And that's why I just don't, unless I can get a vegan roommate or something like that, I just rather not, because I don't want meat or dairy even in my refrigerator in my house. You know, growing up like that, like, you know, at my parents' house, I mean, there's nothing I could say about it. But now that I have my own place, I have a say, and I just don't want meat or dairy in my house. Syracuse is, it's kind of a college town. We got Syracuse University and Onondaga Community College pretty close to each other. I guess so. Oh, that sucks. Hummus Hero had some rice that got lard in it at brother's wedding. Let's see, what does this, okay. Trying to catch up to these questions here. Adrian says, I got the idea to give my dog sweet potato from you and Indy. They love it. Sweet potato is great. Indy gets a sweet potato every day. He had one this morning. Envy is a newbie vegan. Congrats. And I lost it. Let's see. It's been difficult. The good thing is there's a lot of support for vegans, and um, there's a lot of vegan products that you can have if you're craving something. Anything you're craving, really, they have a vegan version of it. So that's the good thing. It feels good to be back in my place, but I'm still in the process of moving in here, so it's kind of unorganized and cluttery right now. And I still need to get things set up. Like right now, I'm trying to get my screen printer set up so I can continue printing shirts. And I have a few new designs that I want to put out during the fall and the Halloween season, which I call it, which is good for the vegan zombie because we got the whole horror themed going on. But I'm excited to do that. Okay, so Robin wants to know about straight edge. Um, well, I guess I don't know if I'm the right person to ask about that because I've been straight edge all my life, so I've never had drugs or alcohol, and I don't know what it's like to be inebriated or drunk or a little buzz or anything. So I've never craved it, and I don't feel I'm missing out on anything. For me, it was kind of being clean and keeping my state of mind. I never wanted to lose my state of mind. And I've always wanted to, I'm the kind of person that I've always wanted to live forever kind of thing. I want to be healthy and I don't want to do anything to my body. And when that would hurt my body. And I'm not saying that, moderate drinking is anything like that, but the impact that had on me when I was in seventh grade, I remember in health class they showed us like slides of like a good liver and then a liver with cirrhosis of the liver over years and years of drinking, and then good lungs and then lung cancer lungs. And in my mind, I said, well, if that's what alcohol can do to your liver, and I understand it's excessive, but if that's what it can do to your liver, I don't want any of that in my body. But that's how it started for me. And then after that, I just identified with it, and I never wanted to because nothing again. I have actually most of my friends are not like I don't really have many friends that are straight edge. Maybe just a really small handful of people that are straight edge. But most of my friends are not straight edge. None of my family is straight edge, and I don't have a problem hanging out with non-straight edge people. It's not I don't shun it or anything like that. Although I don't hang out with people that are partying, doing hardcore drugs or drinking in excess and being drunk all the time. I have had friends like that in the past, but it's just I don't know. I don't see the point in that. It's just it's to me it just seems self-destructive and I see some of the crazy things that people do and again it goes back to me not wanting to lose my state of mind because it's something that you just can't if you don't like it you can't will yourself out of it. You got to wait till it wears off. So I guess that's my little rant on that. It was I guess it's easy for me because I never experienced it, and so I don't feel I'm missing out on anything. Um, the Bay Area is not vegan friendly. I've been there a couple times, and I didn't really spend too much time there. I think it was a beautiful area. I want to go back, but I went to a couple different vegan restaurants there. Um, that's the kind of the area that Miyoko is from. That her Miyoko's kitchen is from. Miyoko that makes the vegan cheese. So I went there. I'm trying to catch up on some of these questions here. Can you make more of those vegan food at regular supermarket videos? Yes, Holly. I definitely plan on doing that. I have a whole list of where I want to go. I tried going to Aldi's and I went there too late. I got to go back there. I'm going to do one at Target, Walmart, Costco, just like every place that, the places that are all over the place because let's face it, people, not everybody has a Whole Foods or a Wegmans or even health food stores. And, when you're hurting on money and you don't have money, you want to know where to go that you can, first and foremost be vegan and then kind of take it from there. As long as you can be vegan on a budget, that's where you start out, and then you can slowly incorporate other things, healthier things, and things that you would just like maybe more expensive. So it's like a little treat or something like that, and it just makes it more convenient and accessible for the general population if they wanted to go vegan, in my opinion. California is great, Beth, for vegan. Just being out in California, they're so vegan friendly out there compared to other parts of the country, and especially LA. LA is probably my top vegan city. You can go to so many different vegan places and still not hit them all. Adrian said it's not eating animals and or animal products. I guess I lost you there. I'm not really sure what you're referring to, unless you're talking to somebody else. Oh, that's cool. Stitch, stitch, boom. Renting a room from a lady who just decided to make the transition. That's awesome. So now you guys can share food. Yes, India is like he's doing a little doggy dream, and so he'll start sleeping, and he'll start breathing like that, or he'll start running in his sleep. His little legs are moving back and forth, and he's right next to me. Did I did I find other straight edge like-minded individuals? When I first went vegan, that was like it was kind of a scene back then. There was a lot of vegan straight edge people, and as weird as this sounds, not so much now, but back then, I was a straight edge vegan, which I still am, and the people that I didn't like being around the most were straight edge vegan people. They kind of sucked. Um, and that's in general. That's not, I mean, there's exceptions to that, but um, at least that was how it was like 20, 25 years ago. And mainly because they were so like hardcore and judgmental and kind of in your face, and I wasn't about that. And that's kind of how I've kept my mindset all of these years, and that's why I made the Vegan Zombie, because that was my rendition of something that wasn't judgmental, in your face kind of way to promote veganism. Yeah, it's kind of hard to find other people that don't drink at all. And I guess I don't mind as long as there's not excess to it, or people get a little crazy, and I just don't really have time for that. Do I still support Daya even though they sold themselves to a company that tests on animals? Okay, when I first heard out about that, I was kind of bummed out and everything because I know the owners of Daya and they are ethical vegans. They're great people, and I've known them for 4 or 5 years now. But the more I think about it, I think it's a good thing. I think it's a step in the right direction. It's getting the product out to more of the world. More of the world can try vegan product. Whether you like it or not, that's kind of irrelevant. It's available to so many different other people. And now that this non-vegan company owns a vegan part of it, that's something that they have to think about now. So it's something that's on their radar, and it's something that they have to, that their clientele, they have to care about what's going on, and that's maybe a step in the right direction for them to start thinking twice about what they're doing and how they can change that to be more ethical. So we're not going to get the world to go vegan if we keep boycotting moves like this. This is the world going vegan. And I know it's a bummer at first when you hear some vegan company, sold out to a non-vegan company. But Daiya is still going to have, all the say. Everything is still going to stay vegan. It's not like they're testing their cheese on animals or anything like that. A lot of companies are like this. They are owned by a bigger parent company. I mean, companies like So Delicious, Silk, there's just so many of them. And another one just got acquired too. I forget which one it was. But this is the world going vegan. It's really no different than like if you're eating Ben and Jerry's, a huge dairy company that decided that there's a market for the vegan community. If the vegan community boycotts it, then they're going to say we don't have any need for a vegan product. There's no reason to invest in vegan. But if there's a vegan product and vegans are buying it, then they're gonna see that there's a demand for it, and maybe they're going to start adding more vegan flavors and maybe possibly taking away some of the non-vegan flavors. And the future could be moving in a vegan direction. So we want to support that. And I understand, like, as far as for me, again, I'm not going to judge somebody for like eating something that comes from a non-vegan parent company or something that's accidentally vegan. When I first went vegan, there was barely any vegan companies. There was no such thing as a vegan certification. The things that I ate back then, I'd be a hypocrite if I told people that you're not vegan because you eat Oreos, or you're not vegan because you're eating Daiya cheese now. So although I understand, some vegans, like myself included, I tend to buy the vegan-only company products, but I'm not going to judge somebody that's going to buy Ben and Jerry's and eat Ben and Jerry's. I mean, I have purchased Ben and Jerry's and I have tried Ben and Jerry's, but I don't usually buy ice cream. I'll make banana ice cream, or I'll have, ice cream that a company lets me sample or something like that. But other than that, I don't really go out of my way too much to buy ice cream. Maybe if there's a new brand and it's vegan, I might taste test it, that kind of thing. But I'd much rather buy the one from like the smaller vegan-only company because they're the smaller company. The other ones are great for people that are transitioning, people that aren't vegan, but you want to kind of like, hey, check this out. I think Ben and Jerry's is great for people that are just going vegan. They're very familiar with that label. They're not going to think that it's gross. I mean, it doesn't taste gross. It's good. Well, most of it. I kind of don't like the brownie one. I think it's a little dry. But the peanut butter cookie one's good. Yeah, that's how I feel about that. You're right, vegan dumpling. There's lots of makeup companies like that. Parent companies aren't vegan, or they sell in China, which is like mandatory to test on animals. I say you start taking the steps in the right direction. If it makes you feel good to only buy the vegan makeup that doesn't have a parent company, then that's fine. But again, I'm not going to judge somebody that's buying the vegan makeup that might be owned by a parent company. I feel like that's how Kat Von D's company is. Her parent company is a tester, but her company is not. But it's owned by the parent company, and she's a huge advocate for veganism, and she's doing everything she can for veganism. So, you have that. Can I flex for you? Okay, there we go. I just did some dumbbell weights and some pull-ups. So yes, I flexed. Beep. I probably missed a bunch of. Doesn't believe in dinosaurs. Then how do you account for all of the fossils? And you think that people might have buried them for like an Easter egg hunt because you can find them under layers and layers of sedimentary rock. It goes back way, way long ago. Um, that's just ludicrous. Yeah, there's nut milks also in the dairy section where I shop. So we have a whole Nature's Market section with like a bunch of nut milk. But for some reason, the nut milk that I usually buy flax milk. Lately, it's flax milk. It used to be the rice milk, but the flax milk is great, and that is over in the dairy section, which I don't see a problem with because now you got people going over there and they might see the non-dairy milk, the vegan milk, and it might say something on it like, just as much calcium or more calcium than cow's milk. And it's also got vitamin D and B12 and everything you need, and it's delicious. So they may say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna give this a try. I'm gonna try this. My friend's a vegan or my friend's friend is a vegan. I'm gonna try it out. And they try it out and they like it. There, you just sold some otherwise what you wouldn't have sold to somebody. I think it's a good idea. Let's see. Is it annoying anybody else, the lights going on and off? Because it's annoying me. Congrats on quit drinking, Hummus Hero. Kept on getting you into trouble. Wait, I'm trying to catch up on some of these questions here. Beth, I agree with that. If someone cannot afford organic, then non-organic is better than not being. Absolutely, everything is better than, like you said, vegan isn't about, it's not about being healthy. Although I think everybody should take that into consideration and really care about your health. I care about my health, and just, I'm fortunate that the vegan lifestyle is generally a lot healthier than other diets out there. And let's face it, we all have to eat, so what we eat is a huge part of it. And being vegan is a great way to be healthy. But you can also be a junk food vegan, like I was for many, many, many years. Let's see, what else do we have? I have tried, yeah, the Ripple. It's like a pea protein milk. I tried that, multiple times just to make sure. I don't really care for the Ripple milk, but that's a good thing. There's so many vegan milks out there that you don't have to. If you don't like one, try another. Don't just write off vegan milk because you tried one that doesn't taste good. I tend to go for the sweetened vanilla milks. So I don't like the unsweetened, but it's great to put in like a smoothie or something. But on cereal or just drinking straight up, I like the vanilla flavored sweetened milk, rice milk, flax milk. Kristen, that's absolutely correct. That happens to a lot of people. Health leads you to going vegan, and then you stay vegan because of the ethics. it's like your mind opens up. You see with a more clear vision of what people, what people are eating. Like I can't fathom eating the flesh of a dead animal, and I used to many, many years ago. The vegan diet is very healthy. Vegan dumpweed is the opposite. Ethics was the number one reason I went vegan. So there's so many reasons as far as for me that to be vegan, I can't think of a reason not to be vegan. So there's no way. Even if you took the ethics out of it, I would not be vegan. Oh, if you were a cardiologist, you'd always have a job because just people people don't want to listen to reason. People don't want. There's so many people that are not gonna. I mean, look at this country. Everything is like being supersized, and the portions are bigger, and the food is more fast food and processed. But yet, we all know that. And there's so many people out there promoting healthy lifestyles too. But yet, um, I was also veggie before vegan, Kristen. Exactly. People want you to eat the bad food so that you need health care because you're going to get sick. But if everybody started eating really healthy, the health care, we wouldn't need health care as much, and the pharmaceutical industry wouldn't be needed as much, and it would collapse. And that's not what people want. So nobody wants to tell you what to eat. They want to say, "Oh, this is a perfect pill for you to be taking." Sticker activism. I don't see. That's one of those things that's like, I don't know how they're doing it, but if they're like defacing property and stuff, that just looks bad. It just looks. I don't know. It doesn't. That's not. That's the kind of thing that it's kind of those like in your face kind of like bone. That's what I was kind of against. I mean, I would never take a bunch of my vegan zombie stickers and deface property and throw them up everywhere and stick them on everything. That's just not cool. I want to I want to give a positive message and show people that it's easy, healthy, and fun, and all the good stuff. And I want to do it in an entertaining way. You know, Kristen, I feel that I really don't care why people go vegan because we can't think for other people. We can't make other people's choices for them. As long as somebody goes vegan, then take your energy and try to make other people go vegan now because now we already have somebody that's vegan. And even if it's for selfish reasons, it's still one more person in the world that's not exploiting animals or eating animals or anything like that. So that's good enough for me because there's so many people in the world. Sticker activism. Yeah, that's the first time I heard of that. Same here. And I found Beth says, I love having a thoughtful, non-threatening conversation that makes people think. And I feel like that's the best way to go about it. That's what I try to do here on the Vegan Zombie. Just have conversations or make entertaining, inspirational, educational videos to show people veganism, whether it's a cooking video, an entertaining zombie video. Yes, I promote veganism through zombies in the zombie apocalypse. Or if it's like unboxing a bunch of vegan products, like, hey, look, these exist. You can't say that, you know, you don't want to go vegan because they don't have, I don't know, vegan beef jerky. Here it is. Or, you know, here's vegan shoes, vegan everything. Reviews, you know, eating out at different restaurants, showing people, you know, what's out there, maybe inspire somebody to open up their own restaurant. Thank you, Vegan Dumpweed. I, I, I feel like I'm fortunate enough to be able to do what I love. Like I would have done that anyway because I love making movies, making films, and it's so satisfying and awesome that I can promote veganism by doing what I love. I mean, that's really good. That's just really good feeling. Yeah, I don't ever try to get in heated debates with people about being vegan or anything. It's either they want to do it or they don't want to do it. Um, I've had people try to start arguments with me, and I mean, if somebody try, I mean, I'll just school somebody with a bunch of the facts because you know I know I'm on the right side, and I don't know. You know, if somebody really wants, I'll do everything I can to help them. But if they're just being sarcastic and poking fun, then I just don't have time for that. There's a lot of, you know, you guys have all heard it, you know, making jokes about vegans and stuff like that. I gotta admit, like now I'm a lot more witty and will say something off cuff to somebody nowadays. Whereas at the beginning I was pretty quiet and reserved, and I wouldn't really say much. I would pretty much keep to myself and not want any confrontation whatsoever. The what's in the box. You like that from the movie Seven? That's right, Nicole. You kill them with kindness and facts, figuratively. Beep, I agree. There's a lot of people who would go vegan if they just knew. Exactly. We're all desensitized from like an early age. But if you really think about it, like it just boggles my mind when somebody's like, I make something, or let's say I have tofu, or I make something, and they're like, ew, that's vegan, and they're sitting there eating meat, and it's like, if you only knew how ironic that is for you being grossed out by me eating fresh vegetables or tofu while you're sitting there eating meat and veins and grizzle and gross. I just I don't I don't consider it food. People eat it like zombies. That's what it is. They're zombies eating flesh. I mean, it's really no different. They're just cooking it. See, Sarah, yeah, there's a lot of vegans that act so rude, and like, you know what? I'm gonna say I know where they're coming from, but not everybody just knows how to be a people person or know how to go about trying to convey that message. Because okay, where they're coming from and where us as vegans is when somebody else is eating something that's not vegan, we know the immense torture and cruelty that went into that. There was another being involved that lost their life so somebody can eat something. And so, after a point of seeing this and arguing with people, you lose your cool and you come off very judgmental and you come off looking like, a dick. And that's not always the best way to, you gotta stay composed, and you gotta remember, like, most people aren't inherently, bad. I mean, we got some serial killers and crazies out there, but most people aren't bad. They didn't know. Like, most people, I don't know anybody that's been vegan since birth that is around my age, or, there's some little kids that I do know that have been vegan since birth, but that can sit there and say that, hey, at one time I was like that too. At one time, I grew up thinking, milk does a body good and gives you strong bones and teeth, and I'm trying to drink milk when I was disgusted by it. I needed to make a chocolate milk or whatever. And I would eat meat and cheese and stuff like that. And, and I never really liked meat, to be honest. I never really liked meat. I did like cheese pizza, and I ate cheese pizza. So everybody goes through a learning process. But you're right, like when people get in your face and judgmental, it makes you not want to do something because, somebody is treating you a certain way, and it's almost like disrespecting. Or we got to remember, everybody goes, how do I feel about Dr. Greger? Everything I know about Dr. Greger, I like the guy. I think he's great. I think he's got some very informative information out there. I like Dr. Greger. What do I think of the YouTube channel Ultra Spiritual Life with JP? I think he's getting a lot of great views. I mean, I think he's funny, entertaining, and let's see, what do we got here? Pete, that's funny. Now you're more vegan than your sister. Wait, whose videos anger you, hummus? What is this? I'm scrolling up on the questions. I'm a little bit behind. Vegan Dumply said, I love Gary's talk so much. He is dynamic and real. Is seitan a good source of protein? Seitan is just pure wheat gluten. It does have protein in it. Tofu is a great source of protein. Edamame is a great, tempeh. They're all really, really good sources of protein. Quinoa is a great source of protein. Gabaroon, thank you so much for the tip. I appreciate it. Gary's comments. So so Gary Yourofsky's best speech ever. I think that's a great speech. he's kind of controversial in some other things he says that I don't agree with. But as far as that video, I think it's a great video. He's really concise and he gets you thinking, and he basically tells you everything you need to know about vegan from beginning to end. And I'm the one that filmed that video of Gary Yourofsky. So we're just over an hour right now. Yeah, but so Gary makes JP makes videos making fun of vegans. He's funny, but not those videos. I think he is also. I think he's a vegan himself. It's all satirical and made to be like mocking and making fun of. Yeah, if you go to my other channel, the Vegan Zombie 2, or if you just go for Gary Yourofsky's greatest speech ever, which one? It's the one that me and John filmed. Okay, so the best speech you'll ever hear, updated Gary Yourofsky. That's the one I filmed, and I also filmed his Q&A afterwards. So we did that at a college down in Harlem, New York, about 3 or 4 years ago. When did we do that? April of 2014. April 1st. April Fools. Robin, I'm not really eating all raw anymore. I made a nice juice with some of my produce yesterday. Tonight, what did I have tonight? I had some kind of like stew with a bunch of vegetables in there and some potato wedges in the air fryer. That's what I had. And for breakfast, I had a smoothie. It's pretty influential. It's actually, yeah, it's almost 500,000 people have seen it. Small kitchen. I get it. But yeah, if you can pick up an air fryer, I would definitely get one. They're great for, even if you're just trying to heat something up, you can use it in place of a microwave even, which I do. I've even been lately, because I just moved back into this house and I don't have a toaster, so I've been putting any kind of thing that I would put in the toaster in the air fryer. Okay. Yeah, tofu comes out good. I did like the egg trick muffin breakfast sandwich tofu in the air fryer. It came out pretty good. Am I for spay or and neuter? Yes, spay and neuter. If you can't watch your dog, I guess, or cat, then spay or neuter. Vegan Dumpweed is yawning. I'm putting you to sleep. So thanks for watching. Have a great night. Yeah, I think we're at the end of these questions. So unless anybody has some more questions or another topic or anything, then I guess I'll be heading out. Let's see. Let's see the number one fans. We got Gabaroon, Nodded, Robin, Barbara, Beep, and Susan. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, it's, especially when you have like shelters and like feral and all that, spay and neuter is important. We're going to have a ton more that are going to be put in the world and, potentially suffering and not have homes and all kinds of not good stuff. So, because I mean, they don't know. Did I meet Yurovsky? Yes, I know. I know Gary. I've hung out with him a few times. Like I went there to film his video for him, and I've had dinner with him a couple times. Still riding. I haven't been riding the bike, but I want to. I was just talking about it yesterday. And mainly because I've been moving. I've been using a lot of the days for moving. I borrowed my brother's truck yesterday and brought some really heavy things over here. So, yeah. Can you guys see Indy over there? There's Indy the pup. Oh, you coming over? Look, they want to say hi. Look, what's that? Do you see it? Look at it. What is it? What is this? What is it? Do you want to talk to him? My favorite dessert? I can never answer things like this when I'm on the spot. But when I'm not thinking about it, I'm like, you know what? This is my favorite thing ever. I mean, I love chocolate and peanut butter. Dessert. I don't know. Probably Donut Friend or something. Black Mist Angel. Any supplement suggestions? A lot of the most common vegan supplements would be like B12, maybe iron, vitamin D. I personally don't take any supplements. I get it from my food or my fortified foods, but I don't take vitamins or anything. And here I am. But maybe I will get like my blood test and show you guys what my blood test is to see how I am. But so far I'm still alive, and I've been living this lifestyle for almost 28 years now. 28 years is almost a little under 28 years. So like 27 and a half years I went vegetarian. And my vegan anniversary when I went vegan is in like 10 days. No, it's on the 23rd. So on the 23rd of this month, 23rd, I'll be vegan for 23 years. 23 on the 23rd. Yes, you can get iron from green leafy veggies. Pizza and donuts. He is. He's part of my zombie crew. So I made a new design. Let me show you guys. So I want to print these. You guys tell me what you think about it. So if for those of you that don't know, I make my own designs and my own t-shirts. I print them myself. I've been doing it since I started the Vegan Zombie, and I just really I never really promote them like I probably should, and I haven't come up with a new design in a while, except for the Ouija board one. But my other zombie crew shirt, I don't know if you guys have seen that. So that was a popular one way back in the day. It said zombie crew, and it had like a couple of rifles like that, and it had some like bullet casings. And then within that, there was like a rabbit and a zombie. So I redid that, and I got a different font and everything. And I want to print these on the shirt. Tell me what you guys think. Do you guys like that one? We got the kind of like the Dawn of the Dead font for the zombie crew, and you notice I got the rabbit. I put like a rabbit in every one of my designs and stuff. And I figured instead of the guns, I was going to use like a kitchen knife and like a baseball bat. And yeah, I put some nails in there too, and vegan zombie. And I'm just okay. So I still love horror and like the zombie thing and all that kind of. So I'm still gonna make horror themed things, and I understand that not everybody likes zombies, especially a lot of vegans don't like that kind of thing. So I understand that. So I have like other ones where like I have this one too. So this one is more of like the vegan zombie. We got the zombie for the eye right there, and we have a kitchen knife and a carrot. So that's what I came up with recently. Um, let's see. Hummus Hero, I would definitely take you up on that offer if you're an artist. Um, I've been looking for people to help with some of my designs because here I am trying to make these designs and I have a lot of other things to do and I'm not really a designer. I'm just kind of like self-taught and I do everything. So it's hard to do everything. Like I'm filming videos, editing videos, trying to come up with the designs, trying to do the website, and I don't know anything about websites. So my website is kind of like very basic and it's not good at all. So if anybody, Robin likes the second one more. So yeah, so the second one will be great for like, so I have two crowds to like kind of like put stuff out for. So I have the people that are horror themed because I will be going to a horror convention, like a Scaricon next month. And, so a lot of those people are not vegan. It's great when I find one that's a vegan or some vegan people. So, but I still want them to check out my stuff because maybe they'll get the gears turning and maybe they will decide that, hey, I want to try this vegan thing out. And the other thing is to the vegans. So it's awesome when I can find people that like both of it and can appreciate the whole horror theme of, the vegan zombie. I've had people come up to me and just try to have like arguments like, well, how is this vegan? You got you're killing zombies and you got guns and all that. And it's like, it's fantasy, it's make believe. And yes, I love the whole horror, like the whole, gore and, the whole horror thing, like monsters and zombies and all that stuff. I always have. And it's make believe. And, somebody sitting here criticizing me, but yet I've got so many people to go vegan, or inspired like so many people over the years to go vegan, but yet I'm being criticized for that. So I don't I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and that's what I love doing. And if I stop doing that, then I'm taking me out of it. This is what I love. This is what, it just happens that I'm able to promote veganism while I'm doing it. So I'm going to keep doing that. Mm. So yeah, I think I'm going to do both designs. Like I'm going to do the zombie crew because it's kind of like an update to my old zombie crew. I don't really like the old zombie crew. I don't like the font, and I don't like some of the design on the bottom. And I think the new one is just clean. So I'm going to do that one, but I'm also going to do this one, and then I got a few other ones that I'm going to do, like some like more horror related. So I'll just tell you what it is. I have a friend drawing this for me right now. So I got Michael Myers from Halloween. And you know Michael Myers, he's holding that big kitchen knife, that he uses to kill people. Well, now I have Michael Myers holding a big carrot. So he's, what's he going to do? Go vegan? So I'm thinking of redoing some of those, iconic horror villains as, some of my, maybe limited edition, like a limited run print, since I can just print however many I want. But I really like my Ouija board one. I don't know if you guys have seen that one. I don't have the design up right now, but basically in the Ouija board letters it says, for the animals, health, and environment, go vegan, and then it says yes and yes instead of no and yes. And it says goodbye, where it says goodbye, it says goodbye cruelty. So let me try to catch up on some of these questions here. And it's a great way for me to like make something that I really like, making my own shirts and stuff, but also like a way to like help support, you know, continue doing the vegan zombie and continue, putting more stuff out. So kind of self-sustainable, made by a vegan for a vegan. So I'm making your shirt, not somebody in a sweat. Well, it's my own little sweatshop that I'm in, but it's not like contracting out to any places like that. So it's something you can feel good about. My vices is horror and making movies, everything about movies, making movies, directing movies, making films, and it's something that I haven't really been doing the way I want to lately. I mean, I put in all that time in some of the older videos. Why is this doing this? And they just were getting like really bad views, and so I tried something new. Even though it wasn't what I wanted to be doing. I started doing more like vlogs and more reviews and like unboxing and stuff like that, because for those of you that have been watching from the beginning, John was the face of it, so I could film it the way I wanted to, but it's a lot harder filming it when I'm the one being filmed. So when you're doing everything yourself, it's kind of hard to get the end product that you're trying to get. So I kind of just did what I could at the time. Let's see. A big carrot. It was a huge carrot. I do post on Facebook. I have the vegan zombie on Facebook, and I'm pretty active on it. Let me see so I have a friend right now that's drawing the vegan zombie. Let's see if I can show you what he drew. He's doing a little bit of a, so this is kind of like the basic. He is changing. He's going to make the hair longer, but this is kind of like the Michael Myers with the, I don't know if you can see it. You can't really see the carrot, but he's holding a carrot. I don't know why you can't see it. Oh, there you go. Wait, there's the carrot. And that would be probably like a limited run for like Halloween kind of shirt. The other, I don't know, where is it? Let's see. I mean, I've come a long way. Like the first shirts I ever made were pretty awful. So here's like the first shirt I made like 8 years ago. Why can't we see this? Yeah, you can't really see it that good with the webcam. And then and then this is the old zombie crew that I was just talking about. And I want to redo that. But you can see the rabbit is up there on the sea. And it's just not very, I didn't know what I was doing. And I just kind of like put that together. But, a lot of people liked it. A lot of people got compliments while wearing it. And so I just wanted to, basically clean it up and make a new shirt. But what else do we have? I've made a lot of shirts. But most of them I don't. Vegan zombie. Anyway. Where do I buy the shirts? It's like different. I was buying American Apparel and then Next Level Apparel, and right now I'm trying to find I'm trying to get a certain shirt, and I'm trying to contact a company. I'm basically looking around right now. I like this company called, I think it's Canvas something. It's very soft. It's one of my favorite shirts, and Tamerlane Farm Sanctuary prints their vegan shirts on those. So if I can't find the other one I'm trying to get, I might order from them. Where do you buy the shirts? On my website. If you go to theveganzombie.com, you can see my store site. But I just have to let you know right now, it's I'm not very stocked up on most of my shirts. I have to start printing again. And since I do print my own, I'm out of a lot of things because my printer has been in storage for a while. So I'm just setting it up now. I was actually doing that before I went live tonight. So I will have those Ouija board ones, which are really cool. I'll have probably hoodies of that, and then probably that new vegan zombie that I showed you, because I kind of want to retire the other one. I don't like the other one as much. The one that's green and it says the vegan zombie. And then I'm going to make one. I just got to get a decent picture. I'm going to do one of Indy the Pup. It's just going to be his head. Big happy smile, Indy the Pup. And I'll let you guys know when I put them up. I'll let you guys know. I'll probably show you guys, here. Wait, so what am I missing here? Pan's Labyrinth. I was just talking to Janelle today about the sanctuary. She wants to get like a Halloween like a Halloween party going on there. They're trying to raise some money to build fence for them. They're she's really hesitant to put up any fundraisers right now. Right now, she's been using so far they've used all of their own money for the sanctuary out of their pocket. They're kind of going broke doing it, but um, sanctuaries run off of donations, so it's a non-for-profit. So I reposted one of her pictures today, and John right now is out of town, so he hasn't been there at least in a week, and I'll probably be going back there maybe next month. I'm really busy this month. A couple days I'll be down going to the expo, so I'll be leaving there Wednesday. Cool, Beep. I'll let you know when I get it printed. Hopefully by the end of this month I'll have that out. Let's see, the vegan zombie font in the form of a head with a zombie eating its veggie brains. That sounds pretty cool. So we got like the head and it says the vegan zombie. Is that what you mean? Like all the letters in the head? Well, Robin, are you on Instagram? Do you follow me on Instagram if you are? The Vegan Amino Group. They post pictures about food and such. Cool. That's funny you said that. I just made a Twilight Zone. I just made a Twilight Zone one, and um, so it says the vegan zombie in the Twilight Zone font, and then I got the spiral in the background, but the spiral was kind of cut off, and I wanted to make my own, so I went to Best Buy and I bought one of these tablets here a couple days ago, which I think I might take this back. I don't know if I like it, and it just wasn't working. So I need to find a nice spiral or get somebody to help design. But I had a really cool design, but I don't know how it would have fit on a shirt. So the actual picture looked really cool because I have the Twilight Zone font. I don't know if I still have it up here. But yeah, okay. So Robin, go to I posted it earlier today, the Mockingbird Farm. So Janelle posted the original. I reposted it of her horse, and she talks about, they need donations for the fence, and you can go to I think her website is right there in her profile. So check that out. Ribs of celery. Oh, and I have another one, but I'm going to save the other one just because I'm not sure when I'm going to make it. And I think it's a really cool idea. I got two more ideas that are really cool, but I can't give you guys all my ideas until I actually make them. But I do have the Stranger Things, and Stranger Things is coming out, and I came up with that one last August actually, or was it June, July? It was a while ago. So I made the Go Vegan in Stranger Things font, and I also did. So I actually have that shirt up on the site. You could buy it. But I also had Vegan Zombie and Stranger Things font, but I didn't print that shirt. But I think I want to print that shirt just because. And I like Stranger Things. But yeah, eating ribs of celery, that would be cool. That would be cool because I want, those shirts that actually look like skeleton ribs? I wanted to make something like that, but kind of zombie-ish. That might be perfect. So instead of the ribs, I could make them celery ribs. It's a great idea. So celery ribs and maybe some other veggies in there. Anthony says, have I thought about starting a podcast? You know, I don't, I feel like this is, I don't know. I'm too busy with my videos and stuff. I feel like, as far as the podcast, I feel like I like doing these live things. So wouldn't that, I don't know, wouldn't that kind of be in place of a podcast? I don't know. I feel like it's either they do podcasts or they do videos, and I like to do. I'm the video guy, and but I'd love to have people on the show and we could talk about whatever. Um, you know, as far as podcasts goes, I've only really listened to one podcast, and that is the No Sleep podcast. It's like a horror themed podcast, and they have some pretty creepy, spooky stories on there. Susan, don't steal the designs before I print them, because you heard it first right here. I must be really trusting, right? I have no idea who's watching this podcast. This is I've seen. Now I'm calling it a podcast. This you now live. Um, the color you wanted was out. Wait, the color for what? The sizes are too small. Are you talking about my site? I have sizes from all the way from like little kids and extra small all the way to 2 and sometimes 3X. What is Indy playing with? I think he's just walking in circles. Why can't you tell secrets on a farm? I don't know why not. Why can't you tell secrets on a farm? Yeah, I'd like to do the video podcast, and then so what I do with these normally what I do with these UNOV videos that I do is these get recorded and I make them unlisted and I post them to my Patreon. So they become, anybody can watch them while they're live, but after that, they become Patreon only. So that would be a perk of being one of our patrons. So Patreon is another way that I continue to be able to fund the Vegan Zombie. People, if you don't know what Patreon is, it's just you can donate as little as $1 a month to have creators create what they create. So they kind of say, like, instead of buying like a coffee, you're paying for your favorite or one of your favorite creators to create the videos that you watch. So if you like the videos, consider donating like $1 or something like that. Does Indy do any tricks? Well, he knows commands in German, so I can teach him. I taught him a few of those. He's a pretty good dog, and he listens to me, except if the mailman's here or somebody's at the door. Then he kind of goes crazy, and I mean that's the guard dog in him. Because the potatoes have eyes and the corns have ears. So maybe I could come up with an idea from that. I was just thinking that too, because when I first came up with the whole concept of the Vegan Zombie and writing it, around this area, making like the zombie movie and everything, it was years ago. But just driving around where I live now, the corn is taller than me right now, and it's just, I'd love to film a video there. Doris who? I have seen the Evil Dead movies. You gotta shop smart. Shop as smart. Okay, so this is a good question from Swearum. Sorry if I said that wrong. Hey Chris, what's your opinion on companies like Memphis Meats, which are working on creating meat from cells without killing animals? Would you try it? Okay, so I think it's a great step in the right direction because what they're doing essentially, even though it's not, I don't think it's entirely without exploiting the animals because they're still getting the cells from the animals. But they're creating all this meat without the suffering of animals. So they're growing meat. So it's meat without the cruelty, meat without the suffering. And I think that's an important part. That's important. So if we can get rid of these factory farms where these animals are suffering, that's a great step in the right direction. Now, do I think it's vegan and would I try it? Absolutely not. It's not vegan. It's still meat. Even if the cruelty is out of there, I still would never eat meat. It's still animal cells and I would never try it. Will Indy will also attack? Yes, if zombies come, Indy's well, unless they have a treat, then he might try to be friends with them, or he might try to get them to pet him. But it is really weird. It's like very Frankensteinish, but if it can, I don't know. Like, I mean, that's why don't you just go vegan, you know? But if there's people out there that that it can help, or that people want to continue to eat meat, then if they can do it without hurting the animals, then that is a step in the right direction. What did I think of the Game of Thrones final? I did not see it yet. I need to catch up on about 4 episodes. So I still need to do that. And I probably should do it before somebody gives something away because I've gone this far without any spoilers. You're welcome. If you've been vegan for a long time, lab meat would still make you sick. Yeah, I would never eat meat again, whether it's lab meat or not. We don't. There's so many vegan. I'm vegan for life. I'm 100% vegan for life. No, but it is weird in the sense that look what people are doing to get their meat. Like it's just as weird as eating animals, but people are so desensitized by where their meat's coming from, where their food's coming from, and they're still eating the meat. So if I think it'd be hypocritical for them to say that's weird to eat lab grown meat because they're already eating, an animal that was once alive and had feelings, and it's it's all weird. It's weird to me just that people still eat meat once they know better. I do have to watch it. Julie Crow caught me live, missed the last one. Well, welcome to the live show. We've talked about so much in this one. We actually started out telling about my experience on 9/11, and then we got into this whole all kinds of different things really. I don't think I will eat lab grown meat either. Frankenfood. This light keeps just going on and off here. There's a ghost. For the record, I'm vegetarian and trying to go vegan, and I love your show. That's awesome. I'm glad that you watch the show, and hopefully, um, we can show you a thing or two, or maybe inspire you to help you make the transition. Yes, that's great, Laura. Laura became vegetarian at age 7 and then vegan as a teen and lived very well without animal products. Yes, it's so easy and fun and it just makes you feel good. Mentally, physically, it's great. It's great all around. Animals are friends, not food. Haunted. Um, Sweet Earth had just sold their company to the I think the same one, the Bontea, or maybe it was a different one. Yoga is also great, says Black Mist. Yeah, I agree. I told myself many years ago, the day I went vegan, I'm like, okay, I understand people eat this stuff, but I don't consider it food. It's not food, and I'm not going to put it in my body. And there's so many other things to eat out there. It's been great all these years. You know, it's weird when I mean, everybody has their own journey and everything, but for some people it's hard, for some people it's easy. For me, back in the day, before knowing anybody that was a vegan, before even really hearing the term and then doing it and learning about it, and this is before the internet, there was no way that I could go out there and get support from support groups, look things up, find out how I can make certain things. I had to go out and do this all on my own. It was a leap of faith. But guess what? It was a new challenge to me. It was a new challenge in my life, but for me, it was fun. It was fun learning. I'm like, okay, I can't eat this, I can't eat that. Okay, so I'm gonna have to find out what things I can eat. So I started reading labels. Like, I mean, that's a great thing, just being able to read a label and know what. I'm like, I don't know what anything these things are. So I had to research and find out what some of these things are, because I don't know. I don't think bread would not be vegan, but what are these different things, And then start, learning and back then, things, they weren't labeled certified vegan, and there were very, very few vegan companies. And if you had a question about something, you just called the company and said, hey, what is it? And then another good thing, if you're a newbie vegan and you're looking at something, if it says it has cholesterol in it, then it's not vegan. I'm over here rambling. Oh, Robin, that's awesome. Your mom ate vegan. The food's great. And I feel like after I went vegan too, I mean, I went vegan when I was young, but after I went vegan, I've I've tried so many different foods that I never had before I was vegan. It was pretty boring before I was vegan. It was like the same thing over and over every week, eating what my parents made, my mom made. My dad was the one in my family that would never eat vegan food. If he knew something was vegan, he would not eat it. Um, and then my mom used to start sneaking things like, she'd make cookies and they were delicious and he'd eat them. But if he found out they were vegan, he wouldn't touch them. And just recently, I did a video. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I made the Beyond Burger, and my dad and my mom tried it. And I went out there and I just said, "Dad, you're going to try this." And I was expecting them to say no, and I was, understanding that he probably wasn't going to try it, but he did. He tried it, and not only did he try it, he really liked it. And about a week ago, about a week and a half ago, my brother sent me a video of my dad drinking vegan chocolate milk and eating a vegan grilled cheese. And he was saying it was delicious and big smile on his face. And my dad's in his 70s too. So um, I'm very, very happy with that because I think he should eat a lot more vegan. He really eats poor, and um, he was just in the hospital last week, so it's time that he starts eating better. Let's see, what did I miss here? Yeah, the cysteine in bread, it's like, who'd have known? It's like duck feathers, like derived from duck feathers. So if you find that in bread, don't eat it. Yeah, fish oil and tortillas, says Sandra. Or Sarah, sorry, Sarah. And yeah, you'd be surprised at what they do to de-veganize so many different products. It's like, oh, this is, this is, oh no, wait, why is this in it? Or they'll put honey in something. And so many things have whey in it. It's like, why are we putting milk products in something that just was like a veggie something? Raw is expensive unless you live in certain parts. I know there's certain parts of California where they have like just an, a really awesome farmers market where you can just buy so many things for so cheap. I know my friend John Kohler does that. He goes out to the terminal and he'll buy like a whole month's worth of food for cheap, and he'll, all raw vegan. And you can't do that everywhere. Like I tried to do, I mean, I just did a video of all the produce I bought at the farmers market, and I did get a lot for 40 bucks. So I will admit that. But I mean, you put all that together when you're trying to make a meal, and you're like making like a 20 or $30 like juice or something, or like raw does get expensive if you're not in the right place. Thanks, Susan. I hope my dad's okay too. It was actually really kind of scary. He was rushed to the emergency room. He was in the hospital for about a week. The neighbors found him unconscious on the back porch. So they were doing all kinds of tests, and I suggested that he starts eating better. He was really dehydrated, but I don't know, just stuff, you know, getting old and not eating right. Some breads, if they have that L-cysteine in them, it's derived from duck feathers, which is what? Like, that's what I said. I'm like, are you kidding me? Uh, let me, let me just clarify that. I'm like, I'm pulling this up out of my memory bank, so let's find out. Yes, derived from human hair or duck feathers, may or may not be certified kosher. Um, Synthetic forms of L-cysteine are certified kosher, but L-cysteine derived from human hair or duck feathers. So yeah, be careful of the L-cysteine unless it says synthetic, or vegan. Um, that's why I like to buy things that are certified vegan, or someplace where I've talked to somebody that works at the place, HR, or some not HR, but human relations. That's HR. Okay, so I'm getting tired here. Somebody that can speak on what they use for ingredients, that kind of thing. Yeah, okay, Raw, John Kohler. I might see him this week. He goes to all the expos, so he might be at the East. Let's see. What are we on here? Wow, we're at 2 hours. What time is it? Oh, I didn't even know it was that late. It's 2 a.m. here. 2 a.m. on a Monday. What's going on, everyone? Yeah. Wait. The trending. Beep says, "How old were you?" What was that question in reference to? How old was I when I went vegan? Oh, you just want to know how old I am now. You do the math. Sipping caffeinated soda. Nicole has to work at 9. Are you on the Eastern time zone? Yeah, it's only 11 in California, so that's good. And if anybody's in Hawaii, it's even earlier. 2 a.m. in New Jersey. 2 a.m. here in upstate New York. Do I eat fläsketeg? What's that? Thank you, Black Mist. I'll let them know. That was my same reaction there. Like, what the F? Why is this in bread? Why would they put this in bread? And why would they derive it from duck feathers or human hair? Like, what? But, I mean, go ahead, Google it. It says it right there. L-cysteine, is it vegan? Yeah, raw is good if you want to feel like a little detox or like kind of like kickstart your get it'll make you feel well. For a lot of people, it did for me. It'll make me feel like healthier, clean, and depending on how you eat. Though, if you're normally eating processed foods and then you go raw, you're gonna feel a lot better. You're gonna feel cleaner, and it is true. John said in his last vid he's going east. So yeah, he's probably going to Baltimore. I'll probably see him on Thursday. What did I have for dinner tonight? I had like a vegetable kind of stew. I don't know, are you asking me? Didn't you already ask me that? Maybe you're asking somebody else. I am near your age, SK. I am. Didn't we already say that? Yeah, I think I am. I think we're the same age. Thank you, Pax. Yeah, I hate when they put honey in things. It's like, oh, this is vegan. Oh no, it's got honey in it. You could probably make raw. I don't know. You might be able to make raw hummus. Chickpeas, soak them for a long time, season them, blend them. I don't know about the pita though. You could probably make like not really pita, but like kind of like you could dehydrate like a pita crackerish thing, and that would still be good. But it's not going to be your normal hummus and pita. I had seasoned baked potatoes, beans, kale salad. I'm just kidding. Seasoned baked potatoes and bananas for breakfast. A lot of bananas. I had bananas with I have bananas every day as well. I freeze my bananas and throw them in my smoothies. And I have a smoothie every morning. It's either a smoothie or a juice, but it's mostly a smoothie because that really fills me up and gets me on until like midday, and then I'll have something else. I'll put like a couple dates in my smoothie. Usually I use like flax milk and chia seeds, flax seeds, a spoonful of nut butter, and sometimes I'll throw in like some protein powder for some flavor. Walnuts are good too, walnuts. Brown rice and honey, yuck. Ice cream is nice. And then you make the raw vegan chocolate Hardin shell. Avocado sushi, that's good. And Inari. Did you guys see my Inari video? Inari is like one of my favorite. It's my favorite sushi food. I do have a few smoothie vids, but I don't like have like recipe smoothie vids. Like I have more of like what I eat in a day, and here I am making some smoothies. So I should maybe I'll make some recipe videos of smoothies because they're so easy. Maybe I'll do another ebook or something. Frozen food, is it technically raw? I mean, some of it they heat up and then freeze it. But the good thing about frozen food is it's frozen at the peak of its nutritional value, so the peak ripeness. So frozen food is nutritious. It's just not as fresh. Yes, Inari. Your daughter loves Inari. It's you spelled it right if you just put an I in front of that. So it's Inari. So my thing about like when they're making sushi, if you're not like at a vegan place or something, is when they're making it, they'll make it all at once. So they'll make the fish one and they'll cut it, and then they'll make your vegan one and then they'll cut it with the same knife that they just cut the fish with. And that's kind of gross. And I'm not afraid to go and ask somebody to like change their gloves or use a different knife or something like that. I'll do that like if I go to like Chipotle or like I'm getting a sub or something, and I see somebody using the gloves, I'm like, hey, can you, I'm gonna order a vegan pizza or a vegan whatever. Could you please change your glove? And usually they don't have a problem doing it. If they do, they don't, I don't need to go back there. You got to be careful with cross contamination. Um, yeah, they have like the mayo sauce that they put on it. What's my opinion on Nikocado avocado? I haven't watched one of his videos in a long, probably like, I don't know, 8 or 9 months. I don't know what he's doing these days. I think I don't know. It's kind of annoying that he went vegan and he said he couldn't be vegan anymore because health reasons or whatever, and then he started eating like mass amounts of like Burger King and KFC and Wendy's and like things that actually aren't good for you, while still saying that he didn't want to harm. I don't know. It's just that kind of thing's annoying. So he got big by being vegan, and then he changed everything. Whatever. That was back in the time when a vegan Cheeto is saying that you can be vegan and still eat meat on the weekends. It's just like, no. What are you telling people? Well, most products that say may contain trace amounts is because they're made in factories that um, also make non-vegan products. But the good thing to know about that is, well, at least here in the United States, the health code standards, they have to clean and sterilize a machine before making a new product because of cross contamination. But because of legal matters, if there were something to get in there, they won't be held responsible. But they still have to clean and sterilize the machine. So I'm okay with eating things that are vegan that say may contain trace amounts. And if you want to know more about it, you can call the company and ask why that is, and they can easily tell you. Um, I know, for instance, Justin's peanut butter cups, the dark chocolate, they actually say, he just wanted to avoid any kind of confusion, and he just straight up says contains milk products. However, they don't. They don't contain milk products. It's completely vegan. I actually did an interview with Justin, and I asked him these questions. So they are vegan, but because of legal reasons and not wanting to get sued and wanting to be completely transparent, there's a small chance that the machine didn't get completely cleaned out, but um, knowing the people that come in and they sterilize the machines, that's their job. Um, it's no different than going to a restaurant that's not all vegan. It's maybe vegan friendly, and you're ordering something, and your meal comes out, your vegan meal comes out, and it's on a plate, and you're eating it on a plate with a fork and a knife that's before they wash on that plate with those forks. So it's really no different than that. I start rambling and I don't see the questions, so I got to go back and look at them. Yeah, I came out and addressed that because they were talking about, if you want to be, being a vegan long term, it's going to be detrimental to your health. So I came on and I did a rebuttal video, and I don't normally do that for drama videos, but I felt it was hurting, uh, veganism. I feel like somebody with that much influence and that many subscribers and stuff was potentially getting people that are already vegan to say, you're cool, you're all right. You can go ahead and you can still eat meat or dairy on the weekends, and you're still vegan, you know. And I just wanted to go in and say, look, I am a vegan. I've been living this lifestyle for 27 years. Been vegan well over 20, and I am in my 40s, and I don't have any health problems. I feel healthier than I've ever been, and I'm a long-term vegan. And I don't take supplements. I don't take vitamins, and it can be done. And I'm not the only. Like, I know I have friends that are my age and even older than me, and it's all the same story. So I don't have anybody that is in you know that is dying because of the fact that they went vegan. So I just wanted to go in and let people know that these guys are just spewing, misinformation for the views and the drama. And I wanted people to know, no, and the whole point is nobody's judging you. Like it's, I'm not making fun of somebody because it's not that you're not vegan, but if you're eating meat, don't call yourself a vegan. That's not what it is. You're not a vegan if you're eating meat. If you can sit there and eat meat on the weekend, but be vegan the rest of the week, Well, then you're plant-based. You eat a mostly plant-based diet, but in no way can you go and say you're vegan as you just finished eating a steak. It's just, you can't do that. It's just, it doesn't make any sense. And um, I don't know. I personally kind of took offense to it. I grew up this way. I am a vegan. I know what veganism, and then people just all of a sudden go vegan and they're trying to change the whole definition. And there's a definition for a reason. Now, if you have like these, and celebrities do this too. You get people that are super famous and they say that they're vegan, and then all of a sudden, they're eating something that's not vegan. Now, you go somewhere and let's say there's somebody's making your food and they throw eggs in it and you're like, wait, but I'm vegan. And like, oh, I have some vegans that eat that. It's okay. So now you're just like confusing, you're making it all confusing. So just, that's why I feel like, I mean, people are going to say whatever they want to say because free to say whatever you want to say, but I just think it's bad for people to be saying things like this. Oh, it's okay. You can still be a vegan. No, you're not. If you want to be, if you're vegan, you're going to abstain from eating the meat and dairy. It's as simple as that. It's not very hard to comprehend. I mean, we do have definitions for certain things because that's what it is. That's the definition. That is the reality. Sorry, I'm kind of going a little nuts over here. I'm reminded of, I did a whole video on that if you want to see it, in rebuttal to the vegan cheetah, who also used to live here where I live in Syracuse. Trying to catch up on these questions real quick. Pax, that's awesome. Healthy AF. Almost caught up here. Almost caught up. Well, somebody can say they're plant-based if they eat a lot of plant-based foods, but the whole term vegan is to abstain from exploiting animals, no cruelty to animals. You're not consuming animals. You're not wearing animal products. You're doing your best to reduce the suffering and exploitation of animals. So if you're eating mostly vegan and it's only because of that, and you're maybe you're eating chicken every once in a while, you can't really say that you're vegan. So people say you're plant-based because you do eat 99% of what you eat is plant-based, but you're not doing it for vegan reasons. You're doing it for other. So that's why people say plant-based. New vegan, says Deanne. Three daughters that will not give up meat. Any advice? Well, I like to go and figure out, first off is, can you cook? Can you make delicious foods that are vegan? So I take all of their favorite meals. I would take all their favorite meals and go ahead and try to make vegan versions of them. And they have, they have some great alternatives out there. Like if they like, I don't know, chicken strips or something, chicken tenders, they have a vegan version of chicken tenders. I know Gardein has a really good one, something like that. And you can buy, you can make your own vegan ranch or blue cheese dipping sauces, that kind of thing, or buffalo sauce. Um, just show them, what's out there. There's Go ahead and veganize all their favorite recipes, all their favorite dishes. That's the biggest thing I tell people to do when they first go vegan. Make a list and veganize everything. And the good thing about that is if they don't like one version of it, there's like countless different recipes that you can make of that certain whatever. Go there. They have some great vegan like sausages, vegan hot dogs. Field Roast has a really good vegan hot dog. I don't know. Gardein has some really good sliders, chicken sliders, meat sliders, all vegan. Okay, let me catch up some more questions here. Black Mist. My brother, my sister, and my mom all had the same surgery for gallstones, and I think they had their gallbladder taken out. Going vegan is a great first step for that. Um, there are people that reverse their diabetes, acne clears up. I know that I used to get acne when I was younger, and after going vegetarian and then vegan, I don't have that problem. I think, I really think it's, what it is going through your body. Your body is just rejecting so much of, what when people eat meat and dairy, it's just so bad for us. I mean, there's other things at stake there, like there's the hormones that are injected and the hormones that are just in the animal system. They feed them with antibiotics and all that stuff. Kristen says, and there's vegans like us that avoid the vegan label. I did that for many years at the beginning. If I went out to dinner, I'd ask for something, can you make that without this? And I would go all around without saying that I was vegan. And then if they like, are you vegan? I'm like, yeah. But I wouldn't really tell anybody unless people asked. And over the years, I've kind of changed. I don't go out of my way, I'm not that person that goes in a room saying, "Hey, I'm vegan" or anything like that. Um, but what I do is I promote veganism on my show, and I try to do it in a fun way. So, um, but it's something I'm proud of, but I don't. I'm humble about it. I don't show off. I think I'm better than anybody. I just know the truth behind what goes into, um, you know, not being vegan. Vegan mac and cheese is great. See, sometimes I don't have enough questions. Now I'm just like, I'm trying to catch up to all these questions. I've got so many. I'm trying to read them all. If I missed your question, I'm sorry. Sarah made her own sausage rolls. That's one of our big things that we make at all of our um, like vegan food demos and stuff. I make pizza rolls, and that's one of our most viewed videos too. Yeah, that's how I used to be, Robin. But now, like, if somebody does ask, I'll straight up tell them. And if they need me to elaborate, I don't mind doing that because if I can get a conversation going with somebody and they're asking the questions, I'm happy to answer them. But let's see. I had I tell this a lot, but before I went vegetarian, I used to get headaches a lot. And after going vegetarian, I stopped taking medicine like aspirin or Tylenol and that stuff. And I've never had a headache again. And I don't know if there's a correlation there, but I'm glad that I've never had a headache again. But it's been what almost 30 years now. I mean, you can only really judge, everyone's different. How they are, how they're going to react by asking them questions. See, that's how you can do it. Have sell vegan food and market it to everybody. Where is Green located, Pax? Oh, Lynn, thank you for coming to the broadcast. Unfortunately, I don't see that a lot. I don't know. Have I seen? I've seen it a couple times when somebody labels something vegan and it's not. I have seen that before, like something with honey in it or something like that. But that's terrible because it just gives us vegans like that. You see something that's vegan and you think, oh, that's great. I don't have to ask any question about this. It's vegan, and then you find out you start eating it, it's not vegan. Merple, that's cool. If you're starting to go vegan and you're taking it step by step. That's how a lot of us started. Spiral Diner, where's that? The vegan label was protected. You mean when you certified something vegan? So you can certify something vegan and it's got the vegan certification, but anybody can just put like a V and say vegan and it's not the certified vegan. And they can claim something vegan when it's actually not. That's not a good thing. I've only been to a Loving Hut once, and that was in Worcester, Massachusetts. There, I just finished reading all the questions. Yeah, it really is what you put in your body. I mean, it's, going vegan is not the cure all, but it definitely can help a lot of ailments. It can cure things, I feel, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to. And but it can definitely make you, if you eat right, clean food, can make you be a lot healthier. Yeah, there's a lot. So, and that's bad too, because there's a lot of non-dairy products that have casein in them, and somebody just sees like veggie cheese or something, they're trying to go vegan, so they buy it, and then you realize, and Morningstar even does that. Morningstar has egg whites and all their stuff. They have veggie burgers, so you would think that somebody that's just trying to go vegan, that doesn't really know anything about it, that oh, I'm gonna go vegan, like let me try these vegan burgers, and they try them, and they don't. Like, I mean, what? Like, if you're gonna make a veggie burger, why put eggs in it? Come on. And the whole casein thing. If you're gonna make dairy-free cheese that's lactose-free, why go ahead and put casein in it? I think that's bad. Oh, my battery is about to die. Well, I've been on for 2.5 hours, and you guys have been great. I think I'm gonna get going because it's late. Although I would keep sitting here with you guys, but my computer's about to die and my charger is all the way downstairs. Flora, that's great. I don't drink soda either. I don't drink any caffeine either, and so I'll just drink water, smoothies, and juices. Well, actually, Morningstar used to have vegan products, and they don't. And I don't think they have any anymore. Yeah, I'll try to do more of these. I know I don't get on as much, but I think I've done it like what, twice this week? Well, if you within a week, not this week. Yes, the barbecue wings used to be, the barbecue ribs used to be, I think, if that was Morningstar, was it? But yeah. Um, let's see. Do I answer questions? I've been answering questions, yeah, for about 2 hours now. And this will be on Patreon soon. What are my hobbies? Um, my hobbies are making films, videos, horror movies, skateboarding. I'm a longtime skater, although I just got a bike and I've been trying to do, BMX, and staying fit, hanging out with my dog Indy over here. I need the pup. Lots of hobbies. Cooking. Making YouTube videos. Hanging out with you guys. I don't like politics. You know, I used to years ago I used to be in every conversation about politics, and I don't like talking about politics. Barbecue Pringles. I have not had maybe years ago maybe. I don't know. Are they new? I was in Germany in 2014 too. I did a whole book tour there. That was awesome. Germany is really vegan friendly. So you guys can follow me on Instagram, Twitter. I don't tweet that much, but Instagram I post daily. The Vegan Zombie. Would I ever sell a gun to a child if they had a really good reason for wanting it? Well, if there was a zombie apocalypse and I had a gun and I had to give it to a child to save themselves from zombies, then probably. And if it was me selling a gun to my little self, I would definitely do that too. Because you never know when you're going to need a gun in the zombie apocalypse. Sarah, I'm supposed to meet up with Noah Craig soon. We're supposed to do another video. I didn't really learn too much in Germany as far as language. I did learn Eichhörnchen. Eichhörnchen. That means squirrel. I'm sorry if I cut out if my computer's going to die any second now. Or minute. Maybe we have a couple minutes. I don't. You see that? The light went off. So. I don't understand, Jeff, what your question is. Like, why do you want to know if I would sell a gun? That's just a really bizarre question to ask a complete stranger. Would I sell a gun for 200 to a kid? No. No, 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 I wouldn't. Why would I do that? If it was to my little self, then I probably would. But other than that, no. So if I could go in back in time and sell it to myself when I was younger. Do I think scary movies are good? I do. I made my entire YouTube show off of scary movies. If you don't know, it's the Vegan Zombie. So I do a vegan cooking show set in a zombie apocalypse. And I do have videos with zombies and all that good gory stuff. So it's fun. It's a fun way to promote veganism. But I hope I answered your questions, and I hope you guys had fun, and I'll try to be on again soon. And everybody have a great night, and watch out for zombies.